My name is Brittany Markham. My childhood wasn't bad. It was fairly good. My parents are married still, and they've been married for a long time. I started seeing this guy. It was actually a friend of mine's brother, and we got along really good. He had a son. His son was 15 months at the time. We got pretty close pretty fast. We probably started dating at the end of, it was like somewhere in June, I think. And then at the beginning of July, I didn't find out I was pregnant. I got pregnant. It was one of those moments, not everybody has them, but I knew, I just knew that I was pregnant. I was 22. I had just turned 22. But like I said, it was a very new relationship, and he already had a younger son. And so I took a pregnancy test in August, and it was positive. And I don't blame him, but I have to say that, it was his suggestion. It was something that he asked me to get an abortion. And I believed in God. I have gone to church when I was growing up. I wouldn't say that I was saved back then. I wouldn't say that I had a true, good walk with the Lord, and I didn't really know Jesus that well. I just knew, I believed that Jesus died for us, but that was pretty much it. So he asked me, and he said he would pay for it. And I was like, okay, well, I kind of felt like I knew that it was my choice, but I felt like I didn't have any other way out. And I was finally in a relationship, and I hadn't really had very many serious boyfriends. And so I said, okay. And I called, and we went to the abortion clinic. He went with me both times because you have to go, at the time I had to go once and then go back for the actual abortion. And it was the signs. There were signs outside, people were holding them, that I was gonna go to hell, and that what I was doing was wrong, which I already knew. I knew it was wrong. I could feel that I wasn't supposed to do it, but I also didn't. It's like if one person would have said, you don't have to do this, then I think I might have not. But I went in, and the people that were there were nice. It wasn't like they made me feel like I was wrong for doing what I was doing, but it was still just a very, I don't know, I think I wish they would have given me more information, because I think when women get abortions, a lot of times they think that this is final and then it'll go away, and then you don't have a problem anymore. If you view a baby as a problem, that is. And they don't think about the emotional turmoil, if that's the right term, that you go through afterwards. They don't think about the things that you might do because of what you did. So there wasn't any information like that. The day that I went in for the abortion, they did ask me if I wanted to see the ultrasound. I refused, because I knew that if I saw the ultrasound, that there was just no way that I could go through with it. I will say that I know God was with me, because while I was there, before they even started, tears were just rolling down my face, and the nurse that was in there with me held my hand the whole time. And I really don't remember much about the procedure. I don't remember how it felt. I just remember holding her hand and crying without even trying to. It was just, tears flowing out of me. And then you leave, and they suggest birth control. I think they gave me a prescription for birth control, and that was pretty much the end of my experience with that. But afterwards, I felt I was in a relationship still. We stayed together, but I felt very alone because nobody else knew. I didn't tell anybody for a really quite a while, and I drank to cover up the pain that I was experiencing. especially in that time, like I actually, before I had the abortion, I actually wanted God to let me have a miscarriage because I just couldn't bear doing it myself. Like I didn't want to take the responsibility of doing what I was doing because I knew I was killing a baby. And I drank while I was pregnant before, hoping that maybe when I went, they would say that the baby was already gone, but it wasn't. And so I after the abortion was over with, I just continued on with, I didn't drink for a while. Like I did take a break from it. You know, I kind of just tried to like, you know, my boyfriend had a son, so I became very close to him, and I like made that my child for a while in hopes that I would one day have my own kid, even though I didn't feel like I deserved one anymore. I stayed in that relationship for 4 years, and it was like 4 years of hell, 4 years of verbal abuse, 4 years of, you know, trying to believe his lies. You know, he cheated on me. He did drugs, and I denied it. I would tell other people he wasn't doing them. I would try to believe that he wasn't doing them, but he was. But I'm still thankful for that relationship, and I'm like, I don't want to say that I'm thankful for my abortion, but I know that everything that happened in that time is what brought me to God, because I don't think I ever would have came to him like I did and have the relationship that I do if I hadn't gone through what I've gone through. I know it's just part of my story, and I did question for a long time, like, how can you use this to make it beautiful? Like they say that, you know, God can turn anything into a message, and he can turn anything into like joy and beautiful. And to me, I'm like, I did something that was horrible, and how can there be joy out of that? But if somebody hears this and it saves a baby, or it makes you go to God, like those are the things that I want. I want somebody to be saved from this. When you get an abortion, it causes so much. It's so much shame and so much mentally that you feel like you're not worthy of anything. Like you're not good enough. I mean, everybody's experience is different, but that was mine. I didn't feel like I was good enough for anybody. I didn't feel like I was good enough to find another guy, and I really didn't even feel like I was good enough for him. And I didn't feel like I deserved to be a mom. I actually, once I finally like started telling people, I knew that when me and him split up, I knew that I would have to be, when I got married, I would have to have somebody that I could talk to about this, because I couldn't live with them not knowing. I think that there are times where I still feel guilty, but not like I did. I think that accepting forgiveness is a process, and like I have forgiven the boyfriend. And like I said, I do take full responsibility. I don't blame anybody. I know it was my choice. But when I went to Jesus about it, I mean, it took a long time. Like I've been married it'll be 8 years this year, and I shared it with him probably 8 years ago. Since then, I've come a long way with it. Like I can talk about it and not feel so shameful about it, because I mean, I did youth ministry, and I was afraid that I couldn't do youth ministry because what if somebody found out that I had an abortion? But also, I wanted to do youth ministry because what if there was a girl who needed me to talk her through that? But I was ashamed to I never told the pastor, because what if he would have thought that I was less than and I didn't deserve to be, a youth minister. If there was somebody else in my situation, I would tell them that you are loved more than you can ever imagine, and no man is going to fill that. Only Jesus can fill that. And don't listen to the lies of the enemy, because he is not going to take care of you. He's only going to make you feel worse. Jesus will help you through this if you decide to have this baby. And I pray that you do, because the joy of having a child it's something, like, even the delivery, like having a baby is a miracle. And I hope that you see it as that miracle.